Well, hi everyone. I'm John Rethland, and this is my review of AEW Dark from Austin, Texas. Two women's matches that weren't all that bad because they accomplished something pretty good, and two tag matches that I had a couple issues with, a couple things in there. But honestly, you put all this stuff together, the show was just okay. But this was a very digestible episode of AEW Dark, and it addressed some concerns. None of the matches went too long, and they got the proper people over, especially in the women's matches. So, gonna be a quick review here, but Tony Schiavone welcomes us, runs down the card and everything. Excalibur and Taz on commentary, and we have Diamante versus Chris Statlander. Diamante, I was impressed with. She's, worked in Impact and other promotions, and she faced Big Swole in an episode of Dark that actually was a pretty good match. And Chris Statlander, I don't get the alien thing. I don't. I know she's done it on the indies, and if it works for you guys and it works for her, cool. I don't get it. However, the performer, she's pretty goddamn good. Very tall, very athletic, great strength, great size. Diamante did have a nice little, brief comeback, but Statlander, this was just to smash her over. She really was fucking dominant, and during a lot of this match, and it was good. She hit this beautiful delayed German suplex. And then soon after hit the Big Bang Theory, 1, 2, 3, and Statlander wins in a quick match. This is what you do with the Dark format. And I'm not saying you squash everybody. I'm not saying that. But Diamante, maybe they'll sign her. Cool. She would be a good addition to the women's roster. But if you're trying to push somebody, this is the way to do it. Statlander winning in this fashion was fantastic. This was good shit. I liked this. It's not going to set the world on fire, but it accomplished what it needed to. And then we get the Hybrid 2, Jack Evans and Angelico versus the Best Friends with, unfortunately, Orange Cassidy. I know Orange Cassidy is over. I don't care for him. So, besides one spot, I'm just going to talk about the match. There was fine wrestling at first, and then some flippy shit. Of course there was flippy shit, because, you got some guys that are actually pretty athletic, and you also have Chuck Taylor. He doesn't look athletic, but him and Trent do actually work well as a team. Positive. Need to be positive here. There's some good heel work by the Hybrid 2. And then Orange Cassidy interferes at one point. He interferes in the sense that he gets on the apron as Jack Evans is trying to get up, or is up on the top turnbuckle. And Angelico tries to run at him. He moves out of the way. So Angelico tries to do this boot, gets crushed on the ropes, and then knocks Jack Evans down. I don't know why they needed to do that, because the Best Friends look like dopes because they can't win without Orange Cassidy interfering. And they, Trent's really, really good, and Chuck for whatever he's worth. But again, they are a pretty good team. They had strong zeros soon after to pin Jack Evans 1, 2, 3. Okay, Best Friends winning, that's fine. Both these teams, I believe, are going to be in the Battle Royal for the show in Atlanta. Well, depending on when you're watching this, either, tomorrow or later today. But I don't get the Orange Cassidy thing. I know he's apparently supposed to be a good wrestler. Maybe he is. I don't like the gimmick. I don't care for it. Other people do. That's fine. Cool. Match wasn't offensive. They didn't need to do the OC spot, but it was what it was. And then we get Christy Haynes versus Big Swole. Christy Haynes, cool, okay, want to see more of her. Like her style, like her look. She's Brazilian, apparently. And, she didn't get much offense in. She got some stuff in, actually. Swole, very over. Swole got a lot of, big cheers here. Big chance of Swole. I don't know how much the crowd stuck around, but whoever did, they were fucking loud. And Texas crowds can really be loud unless you're in Corpus Christi, and then, you're not loud at all. I don't know what the deal is, because that used to be a prosperous city for wrestling, but I digress. There were some cool strikes, a few kicks and stuff like that. Swole got frustrated with Haynes and finally just said, oh, fuck it. Cut her off the ropes. And then soon after, the Dirty Dancing Discus Elbow. 1, 2, 3. And there you go. Swole wins. Haynes gets featured. Maybe they can bring her back and she can, maybe be signed to a contract, build her up and stuff like that. But use women that are either local to the area or women that you are willing to work with and that say, hey, do this, put somebody over. You get a chance to be, featured. You can get some more bookings out of it. They can say, hey, she was on AEW TV. Let's use her. And then maybe more talents can be featured. It's just prosperous for everybody. It just works. I've used the words prosperous 3 times. Which is 3 times more than I've used it in about the last 5 years. Anyway, this was pretty damn good. It wasn't great. And again, like the Statlander-Diamante match, not going to set the world on fire, but it was what it was. We then get QT Marshall and Peter Avalon with Leva Bates, so the Librarians, versus the Young Bucks. I'm going to say my one criticism of this is, one, it wasn't very good, but you had QT and Nick just doing the gymnastic stuff and not anything impactful, jumping off the ropes, leapfrog, this kind of stuff, whatever. Cool. It's not for me. For other people, cool. Not for me. Peter at one point did get on the mic and said "flippy dippy doo." That was pretty funny, actually. I like that. That was pretty fun. I'm not a big Peter Avalon fan. I think he's a better wrestler than what he's been able to show, because he's supposed to be like a comedy heel. I didn't care for the stuff, but it is what it is. He at least did, and then they did some mic stuff or whatever, where Peter says, "Here, tag me in, I'm going to show you some wrestling." And then the Bucks say, "Hey, let's just do this, let's just do this." And they're treating it like an indie show. It was what it was at the end of the night. And we have flippy shit, because of course, we get Leva reading a book to, I believe, Matt Jackson, and then he tosses the book and she gets upset and starts hammering on him and everything. A librarian brutally fisting somebody. I'm going to leave that for you guys. Anyway, we get Matt doing a series of Northern Light suplexes. Was what it was. Actually, that's unfair. He did it very impressively. Series of them, like 6, 7, and then it was to Avalon, and then QT Marshall got in and did that, and they did this, and there we go. Okay, we did that, and then miscommunication between the team, and Meltzer driver to Avalon for the win. That's it. That's literally it. C+. For this reason, I'm grading on how dark episodes are, and it was what it was. C+. Women's matches pulled off what they needed to. Tag matches were what they were. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said. Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.